Good morning, class. Today we will start our first chapter of your Indian economy. Okay. So in your first chapter, Indian economy, what it actually means is Indian economy on the eve of independence. That means how your economy was there during your economy. Good morning, students. We will start our first chapter today of Indian economics. Now, first chapter is your Indian economy on the eve of independence. Basically, what we will study in this chapter, that how our Indian economy was suffering, or what is the condition of our Indian economy at the time of independence. That is your for 1947. Okay. So at that time, what was the problems faced by Indian economy, whether it was good or whether it was bad, how much degraded our Indian economy was there, or how much it was progressing or not. So that basically we will study in this chapter. Okay. So basically, firstly, let's start that before Britishers invade India, ब्रिटिशर्स के आने से पहले हमारी इंडियन इकोनॉमी कैसी थी. At that time, our Indian economy was very much good. We were self-sufficient. We were independent economy. We were not depending on other countries or other sources for income or for generation of food, for generation of final goods, etc. We were basically using our handicraft industries, metals and precious works, precious stone works to analyze and to push our economy. Agriculture was the main source of our production and livelihood. Agriculture was the main source of our livelihood. Agriculture was the main source of income for the India before British rule. Okay. So basically, Indian economy before the invasion of Britishers was very much self-sufficient and self-provided. Now moving toward the next one is your topics which we have to cover in the given chapter. There are total 7 topics which we have to cover mainly. First one is low level of your economic development under the colonial rule. That means at the time of independence, what we were facing very much less economic development. Secondly, how our agricultural sector was affected, then how our industrial sector was affected or affected, next then how our foreign trade was affected, demographical conditions were affected, occupational structure was affected, and the last one is your infrastructure. So let's start with the first one. During British rule, what was the main problem is, the main problem was no one considered it important to calculate the per capita income of the country. No one has given the priority to the section of income of our country. Okay. For example, in India, the growth was poor or growth was good during the independence as well as after the independence or before the independence. No one has given any kind of attention to the per capita income. So at that time there were some of the activists जो आपके उस टाइम पे हमारे जो intellectual persons थे, so they have conducted it that we should measure our Indian economic development, or we should measure our per capita income, national income of the India, and how it is affected or not affected. Some of the people were at that time who have conducted that per capita income calculations. These were R.C. Desai, V.K.R.V. Rao, Finland Shiraz, William Digby, etc. Okay, Dadabhai Narozi, etc. Then the next one is your how our agricultural sector was affected. Now, basically, agricultural sector was very much good before the British rule. Everyone was mainly heading towards the food consumption. All were able to make the goods for their self-consumption as well as for the selling purpose. But after the Britishers invade India, what was actually getting it? स्मॉल एंड फ्रेगमेंट लैंड होल्डिंग्स. लोगों के पास क्या हो गया था, छोटे छोटे लैंड्स लगे थे एंड द लैंड्स वर स्कैटर्ड. For example, if a person is acquiring the land, so he is not able to acquire the land at a proper place and in a continuous manner. If a person is acquiring 10 if a person is acquiring 400 hectares of land, So that was like 20 hectares at a place, 50 hectares at some other place, 100 hectares at some other place. That means the land was scattered. Holdings was very small and the land was scattered. It was not in a continuous manner. Then we were using outdated technology. Our technology was very outdated. Fertilizers were not efficient. We were not using chemical fertilizers, pesticides, tractors, etc. for machines, etc. for our production. Next one is the farmers were mainly dependent on the rainfall. Mainly dependent on rainfall means that they don't have any kind of irrigation facilities at all. They were lacking irrigation facilities at some point. Then because of the lack of irrigation facilities, and so the per capita production or per hectare production was very less. There was very losses in the per capita or per hectare production. Next one is sustenance farming. Sustenance farming means primary object for a person was to produce for his own family. We were actually producing for ourselves only. We were not thinking that we will produce more and then we can feed others or we can sell out the goods. The main problem was because of the low crops, because of the low production, person was able to maintain his family only. He was not able to sell more. Last one is wedge between owners and the tillers of the soil. There were very much quarrels because owners were only giving a part of the production only. They were not giving them the profits or they were not giving them the income for the work. अगर उन्होंने 100 किलो गेहूँ उगाया तो उसमें से कुछ गेहूँ उन्हें सिर्फ सेल्फ कंजम्पशन के लिए प्रोवाइड कर देते थे. दे आर नॉट गिविंग एनी काइंड ऑफ पेमेंट इन रिटर्न ऑफ देयर सर्विसेज. So that was very big problem during the independence time in the agricultural sector. Now suddenly there were so many changes in agricultural sector. We have faced so many problems in agricultural sector during colonial rule. What Britishers mainly do, they introduced land revenue system. They introduced zamindari system, that one person will be known as your zamindar and he will be collecting the revenues from the person who is growing, from the small peasants or farmers. He will collect the revenue and then he will submit to the main authorities of Britishers. Next one is your forced commercialization of agriculture. Commercialization of agriculture means that you are actually selling out the goods which you are producing. You are mainly selling out the goods. Commercializing basically means converting crops, फूड क्रॉप्स टू कैश क्रॉप. आपने फूड क्रॉप्स को कैश क्रॉप के अंदर कन्वर्ट कर दिया. फूड क्रॉप्स वर लाइक यू आर प्रोड्यूसिंग राइस, wheat, maize, different kinds of pulses, etc., corn. But as it was commercialized, as Britishers were thinking that we need more and more profit from the agricultural sector also, they introduced indigo. They told farmer so that they can make indigo. They forced farmers to grow indigo so that they can sell it out for some other work. Mainly जो इंक बनाई जाती थी उसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा था, फार्मर्स जो है अब अपने आप को भी सेटिस्फाई नहीं कर पा रहे थे. बिकॉज ड्यू टू द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंडिगो दे आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोड्यूस goods for their self consumption. There were very much shortage of food in the country at that time. Last one is your partition of the country. When the partition of country happened, जब पाकिस्तान और इंडिया का पार्टीशन हुआ, so what actually happened, the main food crops land, जो आपके main basic lands थे, जो आपके productive lands थे, some of the lands were shifted to Pakistan. So because of that, there were food prices in India. Now next one is the explanation of every point that I have discussed with the help of your diagram. First one is your land revenue system. That means zamindars, they were basically collecting the interest, they were basically collecting the revenues from the farmers, and then they were actually pressurizing the farmers to grow more and more, to collect more and more revenue. If the authorities are saying that they will collect 10% revenue, so zamindars were collecting actually 15 to 20% so that they can make their own money also. So that was the very big problem at the time of independence in agricultural sector. Lack of resources, we have very much lack of resources. We don't have proper agricultural facilities, fertilizers for our crops, etc. Because of that, the farmers were very miserable. For example, some of the movies are also made. First one is your Lagan. Lagan is showing properly that how British rule was there and how they were actually pressurizing farmers to get the Lagan out of them so that they can feed themselves and they can make profits. Similarly, Mother India is also a movie which is considered very important in the terms of showing the poverty and the basic problem during the colonial rule. Next one is your commercialization of agriculture. That means cultivation of cash crops. You were basically cultivating cash crops instead of cultivating food crops. बहुत ज़्यादा अमाउंट में हम इंडिगो उगाने लगे थे, कॉटन्स उगाने लगे थे, सो दैट वी कैन सेल इट आउट to other countries or we can use it for the commercialization purpose. And so because of that, farmers were not able to consume properly because there was very much lack of food crops. Next one is your industrial sector. Now what our industrial sector faced was, first one is your decline of handicraft industry. Handicraft industry में बहुत ज़्यादा problems हो गई थी. What was the problem? Basically Britishers were taking the Indian handicraft at a very low price. बहुत ज़्यादा लो प्राइस पे हमसे लेके वो उन्हीं चीज़ों को फ़ॉरेन में हाई प्राइस पे सेल आउट कर देते हैं. सेकेंडली, व्हाट दे आर एक्चुअली डूइंग, दे वर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग मशीनरी गुड्स. वो मशीनरी प्रोडक्ट्स हमें सेल आउट कर रहे थे. तो हैंडीक्राफ्ट वॉज एक्चुअली टेकिंग सो मच टाइम, लेबर वर्क उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा लगता है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट हैंडीक्राफ्ट वॉज little expensive, whereas machinery good was very much at a low price. So because of that, handicraft की डिमांड धीरे धीरे कम होती चली गई and that's how our industrial handicraft industries were declined. Second one is massive unemployment. Now basically more of the people were engaged in handicraft industries. If they will be shut down, so what will actually happen? Many of the people lost their work, many of the people lost their jobs. That's how massive unemployment was taking place. Last one is your low standard of living. Now low standard of living means as the India was depending on the आउटपुट ऑफ अदर कंट्री, ब्रिटेन के आउटपुट पे ज़्यादा डिपेंड करने लगी थी, तो वी वर एक्चुअली टेकिंग सो मच इम्पोर्ट्स. अब हम ज़्यादा इम्पोर्ट्स कर रहे थे, वी वर डिपेंडिंग ऑन अदर कंट्री. सो बेसिकली हमारा जो स्टैंडर्ड था वो धीरे धीरे कम होता चला गया, क्योंकि हम जो है अब अपने पैसे, अपनी इंडिया से जनरेटेड इनकम हम बाहर देशों में लगा रहे थे. अपनी इंडिया में हम कुछ भी इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे थे. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आवर स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग वाज एक्चुअली डिग्रेडिंग. नाउ द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज़ योर फॉरेन ट्रेड. सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज़ फॉरेन ट्रेड? फॉरेन ट्रेड मीन्स हाउ आवर रिलेशंस वाज देयर विद डिफरेंट कंट्रीज आउटसाइड द बॉर्डर ऑफ इंडिया. नाउ फर्स्ट वन इज़ योर एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ प्राइमरी प्रोडक्ट्स एंड इम्पोर्टर ऑफ फिनिश्ड गुड. व्हाट एक्चुअली हैपेंड? नाउ वी बिकेम द रॉ मटेरियल सप्लायर. अब हम सप्लायर बन चुके थे. हम दूसरे देशों को, मेनली ब्रिटेन को, हम क्या करते थे, प्रोडक्ट्स सेंड करते थे जो रॉ मटेरियल की तरह वो यूज़ करते थे, और उनसे फिनिश्ड गुड हमें दुगने रेट पे सेल आउट करते थे. व्हाट दे वर एक्चुअली डूइंग, दे वर टेकिंग रॉ सिल्क, कॉटन, वुल, शुगर, इंडिगो, जूट एक्सेट्रा फ्रॉम अस at a very low price, and they were selling out the products made from these things using machines at a very high price in India. हमसे कम दामों में रॉ मटेरियल को खरीद के हम ही को दुगने रेट पे फिनिश गुड को सेल आउट करेंगे. देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ योर नेक्स्ट वन इज़ आवर Britain's monopoly control. Now what Britain was doing, Britain was actually controlling complete production and exports, selling, etc. completely. They were actually taking care of import and export of India. They were actually monopolized the complete India with their own rules. सब चीज़ों पे उनकी अपनी कमांड होने लगी थी. उन्होंने क्या किया था, पहले इंडिया बहुत ज़्यादा कंट्रीज़ के साथ रिलेशंस में थी. नाउ दे हैव कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड इट, उन्होंने क्या किया, बहुत लिमिटेड लोगों के साथ हमारे कनेक्शंस छोड़ दिए, चाइना, शिलोंग दैट इज़ श्रीलंका एंड पर्शिया ऑफ ईरान, बहुत ही ज़्यादा कम हमारा ट्रेड कर दिया था, और बेसिकली मेन ट्रेड वाज ओनली विद ब्रिटेन। और ब्रिटिशर्स के साथ, उनके साथ डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन के लिए दे हैव स्टार्टेड देयर ओन स्विस कैनाल, उन्होंने खुद की एक स्विस कैनाल जो है उसको फॉर्म किया 1869 में, जिसके थ्रू डायरेक्टली इंडिया का जितना भी फॉरेन ट्रेड था वो ब्रिटेन जो है कंट्रोल कर सकती थी। सो देयर वाज अ डायरेक्ट लिंक। नेक्स्ट वन इज़ योर ड्रेन ऑफ इंडियन वेल्थ। नाउ व्हाट वाज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग, ऑल द वेल्थ फ्रॉम इंडिया, जितनी भी इंडिया जो है अर्न करती थी, दे वर यूजिंग इट टू मेंटेन द इकोनॉमी ऑफ ब्रिटेन। इंडिया की जितनी भी वेल्थ थी वो सारी लेके वो ब्रिटेन की डेवलपमेंट कर रहे थे। दैट्स हाउ आवर इंडियन ट्रेड एंड आवर इंडियन इकोनॉमी एज वेल एज आवर वेल्थ वाज ड्रेनिंग। So we will end our session over here only, because we have covered 3 topics. All 3 to 4 topics we will cover in the next video. So that was your part 1. We will cover other sections in part 2 of first chapter only. Thank you.